Hello viewers. This Edison Thin N Light is special to me. You may say, why is it so special? You have so many of them. Why do you care? Well, a couple things. One, you're right. I do have many Edison Thin N Lights. I have many in this variant of this color, except with a plastic front guard. And then I also have one like this that has translucent blades with a metal guard. That's the closest one. I have a green one. That's I would say the predecessor to these because it has metal on both sides. It's green, more of a mechanical, same style switch, but has a badge around here, and it has the plate in the rear grille versus the two metal strips mounting the motor to the grille. The reason this one is special to me is because I have a childhood memory of being probably, I would say, probably 4 years old to maybe 5 years old. I have a very strong early childhood memory, and I cherish that, and I try to recall those memories as often as I can as I get older, so I hold on to them and remember them exactly how I always did remember them, right? So it's kind of just reinforcing. So my parents had this fan, not this one here, but one just like it, and I remember it having duty in the family room, and we had a sliding door in there, and my parents typically would have it in front of the slider, so it was pulling air into the room, and it was sometimes leaned back like this against the kind of the door frame. And the other time I would see it would be when my parents, I don't know how many BTUs it was, but it was old school, probably from the 70s. It was definitely a 240 volt air conditioner, so it was probably 10,000 BTUs or higher, 15,000 BTUs, and it was in a dining room, and they would use it to cool the whole first floor. And there was a door that led from the family room to the living room, but the first floor, they went family room in the back of the house. If you went kind of forward, it would go into the kitchen, or not the kitchen, the living room, which is like a formal family room. And then you had and no one really uses living rooms. Like I grew up when there was family rooms and living rooms, and the living room, you sat in there at Christmas time or when you had company, and that was it. It was like a waste of a room. I don't really have, like the homes I've owned, I didn't have that set up because it's like a waste of space. So anyway, and then next to the living room was the dining room. That's where the air conditioner was, and we never ate in the dining room unless we had company. And this was a small house too. And then we had the kitchen. We had a small eat-in kitchen. I still have the kitchen table to this day, and that exact kitchen table, like the one that we ate off of when I was like an infant in the booster seat. And so what they would do is put this in the doorway between the family room and the living room, just to try to like circulate the air around the first floor. And I remember like coming down the steps, because that doorway was near the steps, and coming downstairs and like seeing it. I just remember it. But sometimes when they would use it standing straight up, I remember it would sit on carpet, so it would just bang, fall back. And my parents I never remember them having the feet for it, and they explained, I remember my dad saying, yeah, they have feet for this, but we don't have it. I'm guessing when they bought the fan, I think they bought that fan because the comfort fans we had, my dad got those from work because the air conditioner broke, and he sent somebody out to buy a bunch of box fans, and that's what they brought. But when they repaired the air conditioner, they'd always McGraw Edison comfort fans, so he brought 3 of them home, and that in essence is why that is my childhood fan. But I don't remember ever that story with this one, so I think they bought it. Knowing them, they're like, we don't need the feet. And they had it, and they threw out the box, right? So that's probably what most people did. So it would fall over, right? And that would be a bummer. And I think its demise was it fell over one too many times, because we would get water in our basement, and they would put it down there to try to like, we lived above a spring, and when it poured rain, like the water table would rise, we get some water in the basement. So they would use the fan to just like help dry out the basement. and it would fall over, right? And I think, it fell over one too many times, probably broke the blade. And I remember when the trash was coming, I remember seeing it laying out there in the pile of the trash, the garbage. And I remember I was like, what? I was like, can I keep it? And again, I was 4 years old. So I wanted to like take it apart and like see if I could fix it or whatever. And they're like, no. And I was like, well, what happened to it? Did it get all like, because I knew it fell over a lot. I was like, did it get all smashed in? And they're just like, yes. And that was that. Never saw it again. Never saw one of these again, except occasionally out in the wild. And what I didn't realize as I got older and eBay was invented and whatnot, that this is actually the less common model. And I thought they were all made like this. No, the more common model is the same model with the plastic guard. And as I've said, I have a few of those. I have one at the other location that still gets in service. I have one I keep out here in the sunroom. I have one that I was using in my bedroom as like just rotating it for a week or so. And then I have one that's like a dark color. I told you I have one like this, but with the translucent blades. I have this one, I have the green one. I'm fairly certain I have every variant of the Thin N Light, which is cool. All right, so the reason I'm doing this video today is I wanted to, I grabbed this from the other location as I've been gradually trickling fans in here to finally, after several years, corral all my collection into one location, and that's going to be here. And I've been rotating the other fans in for a week or so. Check out my fan rotation videos if you want to see the different fans I got going on. It's kind of fun. Did 11 weeks of it, hopefully in counting. As of this recording, it's late September, but it's 75 and sunny. So there might be another week left. So by the time this airs, we'll be probably talking about Thanksgiving. So sad, because I'm a summer guy. The reason, continuing on with the reason, so I'm pretty sure when I first got this and I plugged it in, it was stiff, it didn't move. It just got that hum from the motor, so it tells me it's bearing. Meanwhile, this thing is pretty clean. It has a little bit of dirt on the blades. And, when I look at this, I'm trying to look for originality. Like, has this been tampered with? Like, I have a pretty good eye because I have a lot of experience with these Edison fans of if it's been tampered with. So, one of the tips, how you know it's stiff, is like, look, usually you do this, the blades will move. It is not moving. And the back, it's missing a bolt up here. So if I, you can see, actually you can push it all the way forward. Yeah. So this thing, these Edison fans, actually it's missing a bolt here too. It's missing a bolt on the side. So this thing is a little, again, I don't think it's tampered with. It's quite possible this is just someone's fan. They barely ever used it. It dried up. As we know, Edison box fans, they rattle like crazy. That's why a lot of people don't like them. These handles will rattle. So I'm thinking that this was sitting somewhere. Its life got barely used. The windings, they're a little dirty. Fan's a little dusty, just on top from sitting in, because I do have the original box for it. So I'm guessing it's stiffened up, and somebody put it on eBay because I think I bought it that way. All right, so what I want to do is see if I can break loose the blades. What do I mean by that? So this video is not a servicing. Like, I'm not going to pull this apart and oil it in this video, but I just want to see just how stiff these blades are and see if I can help it along. And by doing that, sometimes if you give the blades a little, it's like if anyone's watched like the black and white videos of the vintage prop airplanes where someone goes outside and like gives the prop like a kind of a push to get it to spin, to turn over the motor. I guess you could say it's like that. So what I usually do, I usually like to use a ruler, but I don't have one handy. Usually what I like to do is do this. Oh man, that's really stiff. Oh my gosh, that's not moving. Because I did have, there we go. It almost feels like there's some pushback on it. See that? So I just plugged it in. Yeah, this is pretty bad. And what's weird is, like, if it seemed like it had high hours on it, I could understand that. But this fan does not seem like it has high hours on it. Yeah, so I think this is going to get more involved than just trying to break it loose and fire it up. Because I did have a comfort fan I pulled out of storage in the original box. It's dirty, like it's not filthy, it's dirty, not because I bought it that way. And I pulled it out. As soon as I pulled it out, I noticed the blades didn't move when I picked it up. And so I was able to stick my finger in because the guard's a little wider on the front of the fan. And it totally was fine. The spin down was fine. Yeah, I would definitely oil it, but I used it for a week or so and it was fine. But this, not good. Like, I wonder if the bearings are totally shot. So what I'm really curious is if any of you guys have experienced anything like this. See? Yeah. That's all we got. Yeah. So, all right, I don't want to push it, but this is ironically the only one with the metal grill. These are actually pretty, the Thin N Lights are pretty common on eBay, which is cool. And I do think there's one up as of this recording that has the metal front guard. So I think this will move into the project pile for now. And I'll look to disassemble it and see what the cause is of this problem. And if it's something that's not fixable, I just put this out there. If it's something I can't fix, I try to rely on you guys, fellow collectors, for some insight. And if that fails, and in a lot of cases it doesn't fail, a lot of cases you guys have been really supportive and giving me some ideas. I had an issue with a comfort fan. The blade or the hub was slipping on the shaft. Got some excellent suggestions after I did a bunch of trial and error on my own, and suggestion fixed it. So this, what I'll do is I'll disassemble it, throw some Zoom spout on it, and see if I can break it loose, and see if that's the issue. If that's not the issue, because I haven't seen anything quite like this, then we'll have to go further with it, where it's like it get like resistance, like where it wants to come back at me. Yeah, it's like right there, like binds up. Yeah, see how it wants to come back at me? Yeah, the other thing too is you see it like moving around. It's missing a bolt up here and it's missing one here. Now here, yeah, if I can just, yeah, that may help, yeah. So I can imagine if this thing was running. The other, actually, doing some investigative work, one of the reasons we could be having a problem here is because maybe somebody ran it this way and therefore it was constantly vibrating. Oh, man, that would be so annoying. This can't be the case. Or could it? Because I think if it was running fine, somebody would say, oh, a couple bolts fell out, let's just fix it. Or the bolts fell out and they ran it that way, and it might have created some type of imbalance which ruined the bearing. That could be a possibility. Now, I'll have, so this will be a good video. I'll have to inspect the bearings because I might have two covers or shells, if you will, from another McGraw Edison fan that I was troubleshooting with, and another collector did a swap on the same fan I talked about with the hubs. I thought we thought we had bearing issues. I could try a swap and see if that's it. So we'll do some experimenting, but this is kind of like the preliminary investigative detective work here. So stay tuned. At some point we will rip into this thing and take a look. But meanwhile, if you guys have come across anything like this, share in the comments what you think could be causing how stiff it is, and you saw that kind of like pushback, which a stiff bearing usually doesn't push back on you like that. Stiff bearing is just usually like, this is like pushes and it like comes back, and you could see the motor when I turned it on, how it like struggled and it like hit that like spot again. All right, well, thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and see you guys soon.